Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
This is the 9 p.m. news telecast of the prestigious channel of Sri Lanka. A pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the national news. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
A very good evening too. I'm Charita Minipuraharachi, and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. Massive crowds stormed the historic Kandy city today as well. A special program to reap maximum benefits from plantation company lands will be initiated shortly. Kush narcotics valued at 60 million rupees nabbed from 3 women who arrived in Katanayaka. Donald Trump prepares not to be involved in Russia-Ukraine peace talks. The Sri Lanka rugby team qualifies for the Asian Rugby tournament.
Now for those and other stories in detail. The historic Kandy city has witnessed an enormous influx of devotees who were engaged in the sacred veneration of the tooth relic for the second day today.
The security of all the incoming visitors has been guaranteed and all of their essential needs are being looked into. People from all the four corners of the island are flocking to the upcountry to see through their own eyes the sacred tooth relic. They are making use of the opportunity provided by the government to engage in this meritorious act. People clad in white are staying in long queues with great patience to venerate the sacred relic. The devotees, forsaking their time, are lining up for even 2-3 days with great reverence to pay homage to the sacred tooth relic.
මගේ රටට දළදා හිමි සෙවණයි මගේ දයට දළදා හිමි සරණයි සැපතින් සපිරුණු හිමහල් දෙවණයි උපතින් මාහට මේ හැම උරුමයි දළදා මැදුරේ රන් කොට මුදුනේ මිමිකිරින් මුළු රටම අවදිවේ දළදා මැදුරේ රන් කොට මුදුනේ මිමිකිරින් මුළු රටම අවදිවේ දෙදහස් වසරක මහරු අතීතය සීහ තේජසින් යලි පිබිදේ දෙදහස් වසරක මහරු අතීතය සීහ තේජසින් යලි පිබිදේ.
How people is with everyone, they're so kind and so noble, and so I feel every time very secure and very happy to share with everyone.
The organising board requests the general public not to come for homage with slippers and shoes for travel bags. Medical facilities are being provided for the devotees by a team comprising of physicians at the sacred site. A special boat service is also being provided for the devotees around the lake. A special iron bridge has also been erected to control the constant congestion in front of the queues in Queen's Hotel in Kandy. This enables the devotees to enter the main gate with more convenience. A special security program is being implemented throughout the Kandy district and also at the sacred area. A special door remains open for Mahasangha and devotees who arrive from the overseas to venerate the sacred tooth relic. This door also remains open for persons with special needs. A dansala is being conducted throughout the night for the convenience of devotees who stay in the area. Large crowds continue to remain in the city with the hope of venerating the sacred tooth relic.
Mahasangha and Buddhist devotees from overseas are currently visiting Sri Lanka to take part in the veneration of the sacred tooth relic. A large Buddhist delegation from Vietnam visited today Kandy for the same purpose. The visiting Buddhist delegation was led by Most Venerable Thich Phong Dar. They are a member of the Executive Council of Vietnam Mahasangha. First, they took part in a welcome ceremony and religious rites at the Bharati Piriven in Penidenia, Kandy. An almsgiving for Vietnam monks was also held. The visiting delegation expressed their gratitude to Mahasangha, the government and people of Sri Lanka for providing this opportunity for them.
Rất vui mừng khi đến được chiêm bái xá lời răng của Đức.
We are the Vietnamese Buddhist delegations come here to visit the tooth village, and we are so happy to come here, and we get very happy for all of you to welcome us. We hope to see all the good things in Sri Lanka, and so that we know the Buddha are the real persons. Not so for like all the people says he is not the real person, and we are truly happy to see here and come to see the tooth village.
And meanwhile, President Ankumar Sanaka says a pilot project will commence to hand over the plots of lands owned by plantation companies to people in the estate sector. The President has made these remarks addressing a public rally in Talawakale today. The meeting was conducted centering on the Duvareli district to consolidate the victory of National People's Power in the forthcoming local government elections. Large crowds were present at the meeting, which was conducted under the theme Jai Niyatai Gama Apatai. The President was accorded a warm welcome by the residents upon arrival at the meeting. President Ankumar Sanaka said that the government had a great courage and a need to build the country. The fertilizer subsidy given for paddy cultivation was increased to 25,000 rupees from 15,000 rupees. A decision has been taken to hand over a fertilizer subsidy of 15,000 rupees also for vegetables and supplementary crops being cultivated in paddy fields in the Yala season. Government is also in the process of taking necessary measures for the provision of relevant seeds at a reasonable price with the recommissioning of the Seed Research Institute. The government has also prepared a program to provide insecticides and weedicides at half the price of prevailing prices through the reactivation of the Sipetco Institute. The living standards of farmers engaged in agriculture will have to be upgraded. The President further said that negotiations are underway and the plantation companies to fix a wage of 1,700 rupees for plantation workers. A portion of the lands belonging to plantation companies will be handed over to the people. This would enable the plantation workers to entering into agreements with the plantation companies to develop these plots of land as their own properties. The ultimate result would be the increase in the coming incomes of the plantation community. A pilot project is expected to be conducted in this connection. This program will pave the way for the residents in laying rooms to live as freed citizens. There is a possibility of initiating a main tourist industry centering on Nuerelia. A cable car project would be immediately introduced to the Gregory Lake. The government will accept the challenges of creating new economic opportunities in order to enhance the living conditions of the people. The generation of children should be liberated from the state of bondage and direct towards a new economic path with an economic transformation. Many houses have already been provided under Indian government aid. It is also a necessity to allocate lands for the future housing constructions. These activities will be carried forward quickly. The victories achieved in September and October will have to be further strengthened. The President added, therefore, a strong people's mandate is necessary on the 6th of May.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says he will take over the responsibility of duly fulfilling the services that should be extended by the local government institutions. He therefore requests to hand over the power of the local government institutions to Samagajana Balavega. The opposition leader has made these remarks participating in a public meeting in Akre Patu. The event was organized to establish victory of SJB candidates contesting local government bodies in the Ampara district. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that provisions are to be provided to local government institutions upon examination of which party won the polls. He added that voters should not have any fears or suspicion and they should work for the victory of the SJB. Opposition leader said that they will take over the responsibility of providing services to the people via local government institutions.
And meanwhile, Parliamentarian Namal Rajapakse says economy of the country could be built through the development of rural economy and youth entrepreneurship. He was addressing a public meeting in Thalawar. Parliamentarian Namal Rajapakse said that the country's national economy should be strengthened only through development of the children's education and entering the national and international job market. The environment that country hopes to create in the international arena could not be materialized by confining the rural children to their village setup. He has called upon voters to commence a program to strengthen the economy and to enrich the farmers, fishermen and the laborers through forming a SLPP government at the upcoming poll.
Minister Vasantha Samarasinghe says there is no escape from the law for anybody who had cheated the public funds in the country. He made these remarks remarking of participating in a ceremony in Anuradhapur yesterday. The minister also said investigations are underway to look into many complaints submitted with regard to the Easter attack and the central bank bond scam. The event was organized in connection with the unveiling of the Anuradhapura Urban Development Programme. Religious leaders, intellectuals, professionals, entrepreneurs and the trading community of the Anuradhapura area were present at the occasion. Minister Vasantha Samarasinghe said that only a few complaints against the government received within the first 5 months of governance. There have been complaints on delays on the commencement of programs as well as in imposing punishments on fraudulent persons. The minister added that, however, it is the duty of agencies to take the appropriate actions against frauds. There are more than 27,000 complaints filed at the CID. So far, 57 complaints have been fully probed. The Easter attack as well as the bond scam would come under direct scrutiny. The police, CID and the Bribery Commission are in charge of these investigations. The government is compelled to abide with these investigations. There will not be any government interferences in these investigations. Minister Samarasinghe also said government has fulfilled the pledge given to the people to look into the charges on frauds and corruption. The people should not have any suspicion in this connection. Any person who had misappropriated public funds will not be allowed to evade the law.
The National Trade Union Centre says it believes that all would strive for the victory of the NPP at the upcoming local government elections with the objective of creating an efficient local government institution structure. Representatives of the centre have expressed these observations at a media briefing held in Colombo today. Secretary of the National Trade Union Centre, Mahinda Janasinghe, has said that a request is being made from the entire public sector servants and postal voters to vote for NPP at the local government elections in the same manner they had handed over the victory to the party in the last two elections. In history, Sri Lanka had observed how politicians engage in methods to share their resources among themselves. The present government has taken the initiatives to curtail the privileges handed over to politicians. There is a strong hope that the entire working class and all citizens will hand over a significant power to the NPP at the forthcoming local government election as well. Deputy Secretary of the National Trade Union Centre, Chandan Suryaraj, said that in the presidential and general elections, a clear people's mandate was demonstrated. The conducive situation will have to be further strengthened by giving entire power to the NPP at the local government polls. The people's power will enable to have efficient local government institutions. The Secretary to the All Ceylon Nurses Association, SB Madhiwath, request all government employees to hand over victory to the NPP at the forthcoming election to win all local government institutions.
And we have more news from home in brief. 3 women have been arrested today by the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau at the Sanaka airport for the possession of over 5 kilos of Kush cannabis valued at 63 million rupees. The suspects, aged between 25 and 50 years, were reported to have travelled from Thailand to Bangalore with a stock of narcotics concealed in 4 travel bags. Thereafter, the suspects had reached the Sanaka airport with the contraband. They are scheduled to be presented before the Nigam Magistrates Court. Shipment of 10 containers of aid for the Mahasangha and citizens affected by the earthquake in Myanmar has taken place at the Urugodavata storage complex yesterday. The stock of items were collected by the Viharas of the Sri Lanka Ramagna and Amarapura Nikayas. Mahasangha, headed by Mahanayaka of the Ramagna Nikaya, Most Venerable Makulavi Vimalatera, were present on this occasion. The Manampitia police station has arrested a suspect who was reported to have fled after shooting at a Christian church in Manampitia yesterday. He was nabbed along with a locally produced firearm. A window of the church was damaged in the shooting incident. Upon investigations, it has been revealed that firing had taken place due to a personal dispute with the priest at the church. Now, many competitions in the Sundara Nuwaraliya Salalihini Vasantaya have taken place today.
And it was also a very special day today in Nuwaraliya. The flower exhibition came to an end and the winners were handed over prizes. Tomorrow will be the final day of the 4x4 motocross races.
Spring Fest 2025.
The most attractive feature of the Sundara Nuwaraliya Salalihini Vasante was the 2-day floral exhibition. The concluding ceremony was named as April Blooms 2025, and the Nuwaraliya Municipal Council has organized the exhibition in the most attractive manner through media sponsorship of the national television. The 4x4 race, which brought warmth to the cold Nuwaraliya, has commenced today. There is a large crowd to witness the event. The national television invites all its viewers to visit Nuwaraliya to watch all of tomorrow's race. And that's it on local stories. Stay tuned with international stories after this break.
Prima Kottumi, hot and spicy Navavasarak Veva.
Welcome back with your international stories. And the United States is signaling it may step back from its role in brokering peace talks between Russia and Ukraine if negotiations fails to slow meaningful progress in the near future. President Donald Trump expressed concern over the pace and direction of the current negotiations, suggesting that continuous US involvement depends on the willingness of both Moscow and Kyiv to engage constructively. While the US administration continues to advocate a swift resolution, officials have indicated they are not prepared to prolong mediation efforts indefinitely. Secretary of the State Marco Rubio reinforced this position, indicating that the US is closely monitoring developments and will re-evaluate its commitment to process unless clear signs of progress emerge. The diplomatic remarks following another wave of violence in Ukraine. Russia strikes off the cities of Kharkiv and Sumy reportedly killed at least 2 people and injured more than 100. Russian forces continue to advance slowly in eastern Ukraine, and nearly 3 years after launching a full-scale invasion, negotiations have faced persistent challenges. Russia has outlined a number of conditions for a ceasefire, while Ukraine remains firm on protecting its sovereignty and territorial integrity. The complexity of the situation has made it difficult for mediators to establish a clear path forward. A Kremlin spokesperson acknowledged the difficulty of the ongoing talks, but reiterated Russia's openness to dialogues and its desire for a resolution that aligns with the national interests.
Now, at least 92 people have been killed in Israeli attacks in Gaza in the last 48 hours as Israel continues to kill displaced sheltering in tents. The UN's World Food Programme issues an urgent warning that Gaza needs food now, as hundreds of thousands of people are at risk of hunger. In its latest death toll update, the US authorities has indicated that 219 wounded people have been also received or arrived at hospitals in the Strip. The death toll in the region has risen to over 51,100 since October 2023, according to Gaza authorities. Israeli attacks have taken place across the Gaza Strip today, from Rafah and Khan Yunis in the south and Nusret refugee camp in the center of the enclave, to Beit Lahia and Beit Hanun in the north. The area around Khan Yunis has been targeted in particular, with 11 people killed in 3 separate raids on tents sheltering displaced Palestinians. Meanwhile, the United Nations World Food Programme has called for the entry of aid into Gaza, as almost the entire population in the besieged Strip relies entirely on food assistance. The WFP and its partners have 85,000 tons of food waiting to enter the enclave.
And also, the BRICS Action Plan for Trade Development and Standards Cooperation initiatives were released today. It was released at the BRICS Economic and Trade Forum held in Beijing. The forum was organized by China Council for the Promotion of International Trade. The plan aims to strengthen the existing cooperation framework among BRICS countries, jointly build an information sharing mechanism, reduce technical barriers through standard matching and mutual recognition, and enhance the facilitation of goods, services, culture, and digital trade among BRICS nations. It also calls for efforts to accelerate the sustainable development process and multilateral and bilateral cooperation from BRICS countries in economic, social, environmental, and other aspects, with international standards, technical regulations, and voluntary sustainable standards as technical support. The plan also elaborates on key action and implementation paths and put forward feasible suggestions on trade in goods, trade in services, trade in culture, and digital trade. Most of the representatives attending the forum said that the BRICS cooperation mechanism, with its growing representativeness, appeal, and influence, has become an important platform for unity and cooperation in the global South and a stronghold against trade barriers and unilateralism.
Now, the world's first humanoid robot half marathon was held in Beijing today. For the first time ever, robots and humans shared the same route on separate tracks in a marathon event. A total of 20 humanoid robots from teams across China took part in the competition. The 21-kilometer route featured different terrains, including ramps instead of consisting of all flat stretches, posing challenging to the humanoids' mobility and flexibility. To achieve better results, each team made adjustments on their robots for long-distance running. For example, some improved materials of robots' feet to make them more wear-resistant, while others changed the gait and pace of robots, while algorithm in order to extend the battery life. According to the organizers, the event was not only a sports competition but also a test for humanoid robots' comprehensive abilities such as reliability, durability and safety. 8 refreshment stations for humanoid robots were also set up, allowing robots to have their battery changed. In the end, Tiangong Ultra humanoid robot came out as the winner of the half marathon with a speed of around 8 km per hour.
Prima Kottumi, hot and spicy Navavasarak Veva.
Welcome back with this sports update. And Sri Lanka has been successful in becoming eligible to participate in the First Division 2025 Asian Cup Rugby tournament.
The Sri Lanka team was qualified as a result of securing victory in a match played against the Malaysian team at the Colombo Racecourse grounds today. Another unique feature of the victory has been Sri Lanka becoming eligible in entering the 4 Asian Super Rugby teams. Among the spectators at today's match were Sports Minister Sunil Kumar Gamage, President of the Asian Rugby Union Kais Abdullah and Director General of Sports Shamal Fernando. The Sri Lankan players have accepted the challenge since the commencement of the game and collected 33 points at the end of the first half against the 7 points secured by the Malaysian side. The Sri Lankan team's points came in the form of 4 goals and a try. The local team added 26 more points in the second half, which included 3 goals and a try. The Malaysian team had collected only 12 points in the second half. As a result, the Sri Lankan side has secured a victory by a margin of 59 to 19. Dinal Ekanaka has converted 3 tries and Jani Dudelshan scored 2 more tries. Sri Lanka will next compete against South Korea in an Asian Rugby tournament match on the 14th of June this year. And on your more sports stories, the Sri Lanka youth athletes have been successful in securing a medal haul at the Under-18 Asian Athletic Championship tournament. Sri Lankan competitors have bagged a gold medal, 3 silver medals and 4 bronze medals by making a tally of 8 medals. This was the highest number of medals won in a single Asian Junior Athlete Championship tournament by Sri Lankan contestants. The championship tournament has been organized for the 6th occasion in Saudi Arabia. Sri Lanka Tarushi Abhisheka won the gold medal in the 800-meter women's racing event by finishing the competition in 2 minutes 14.86 seconds.
زحفة راحت ومش هرجع، محدش هيجيني، انا داخله قويه، انا داخله اولى. الله، دقيقتين 14.
حطمت الرقم كابتن، حطم المركز الاول ميداليه الذهبيه. يتفضل العقيد سير القحطاني صاحب الابتسامه الجميله، وايضا رولان من الاتحاد الاسيوي.
Shavindo Avishka has won the bronze medal in the women's 800-meter event. He has recorded a timing of 1 minute and 53.4 seconds.
Captain Mahmoud, لن تستطيع.
Shavindo Avishka from Sri Lanka. المركز الثالث هندلك دون شافيندو أويشكا من سريلانكا.
الميدالية البرونزية للاعب السريلانكي. ألف مبروك لسريلانكا.
In the women's triple jump event, Dilki Dehara won the bronze medal with a performance of 12.35 meters.
هي لعبة صعبة والله.
ميغا مواغي ديلكي نهارا من سريلانكا.
Another Sri Lankan medal winner was Pavan Sampath, who won the bronze medal in the men's high jump event. He was recorded a height of 2.03 meters.
باف بترين واحد
بدل
هذا هو السريلانكي وعملية يادي رشاح.
يشير بالحركات اليدوية.
يلا خلينا نشوف.
هنشوف الوثبة ديت ثم
كان يادي رشاح. يعني أنت الآن في ارتفاع متر 90.
Another Sri Lankan competitor, Dinuka Dilshan, has been successful in securing the 5th place in the competition by recording a performance of 2.01 meters.
ونبارك له بيقدم الورد. طلق السباق.
A Sri Lankan women's mixed relay event has established a new junior national record by securing a silver medal in a timing of 2 minutes and 14.25 seconds. Sri Lanka team has clinched the 9th position in the medal table at close of Under 18 Asian Youth Athletic Championship tournament. China was in the first place and Japan has secured the second position.
سريلانكا قوية وراحت وراها هي وتايلاند، لكن بتاعت السريلانكية لاعبة قوية لمت الفرق حوالي 10-12 متر بعد ما كان حوالي 30 متر، لكنها وادي مسا اهي وادي البطلات اهم وفرح بيتوجهم. الله الله الله، ما نزلش على الفاضي ابدا، ده انزل وتوج واصعد. جميلة، حاجة جميلة قوي 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 قوي. دي بقى القائد بتاعهم.
Congratulations to the Sri Lankan athletes for making Sri Lanka proud in the international arena. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel Eye. I'm Dilanjali, together with Shoita, signing off. Good night.
Good night.